sufren los que se olvidan.
Please welcome back Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, Manuel Castro.
Ahora sí, ojalá se hayan tomado ese traguito. Y si no, ¡que viva México! ¡Que se escuche! Ahora sí. Bueno, de nuevo, I would like to thank everyone who's made this event possible. I want to thank El Mariachi, Álvaro Paulino. Thank you so much, Al Mariachi, for joining us today. Thank you so much to La Fortaleza Restaurant, to Siempre Restaurant, to Libelulu Mezcal y Tequila, to San Bartolo Mezcal Artesanal, and of course our partners at the Department of Transportation. Thank you so much for your support. Gracias. Now it is my tremendous honor to welcome the Mayor of the City of New York, and if you allow me to say a few things before I introduce the Mayor to the stage. Today, el Día de Muertos is such an important and meaningful tradition for our immigrant communities and for Mexicanos in New York City, in Mexico, and around the world, because it allows us to remember those who have departed from this earth in such a meaningful way, especially those who perhaps lost their lives in tragic ways, like the marineros that we remember today in our ofrenda. It also allows us to remember loved ones who may have died at home, in their home country, and we may have not been able to go back to visit them. That was certainly the case for my abuelitos y mis abuelitas when they passed away, and I could not travel back with my family to see them and to pay respect when they died. And so the ofrenda in the Día de Muertos to me is such a significant, perhaps the most important celebration that we have in our community. And so for that, I thank Mayor Adams for opening the doors to Gracie Mansions to host an official Día de Muertos in the city of New York. So thank you so much, Mayor Adams, for allowing us to do that here in this space. El Día de Muertos is also a reminder that nothing physical on this earth lasts forever. In that every single day, every single moment we have together in our community and with each other, we have to treasure. In that every single day we have the opportunity to fight for and do good, to make sure that we leave a better world than we found it. That's what's important. And so it's been a tremendous honor for me to serve as Commissioner of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs in almost the last 4 years. And so I want to thank Mayor Adams for allowing me this honor and this opportunity to work and fight so hard for our immigrant communities and to represent the Mexicanos, the New York, in this role. So thank you so much, Mayor Adams, for allowing me that opportunity. And we must do everything possible to make sure that we leave a better world than we found it, so that one day, hopefully, the people that inherit this earth and inherit this city will one day set up an ofrenda for us here at Gracie Mansion and remember us for the work we did on behalf of our communities and on behalf of the city of New York. And so with that, thank you so much, and it is my deep gratitude and honor to introduce to you the Mayor of the City of New York, Mayor Eric Adams.
Thank you so much, and we could not have had a better servant for the people than Commissioner Castro. And I thank you for serving the people of the city. His journey here with his mother many years ago as a dreamer. Who would have thought that he would become a commissioner that would be responsible for the future dreamers that arrived here? We traveled together to Puebla. We traveled to El Paso together. We traveled to Colombia. We traveled to Ecuador. We traveled to watch so many who follow the same track that many of you have followed to come here in pursuit of the American dream. And at the same time, it is required of you, if you're in this country, never to abandon your homeland. Mexico should always be in your heart, and you should bring the culture, the food, the dance, the spirit, the entrepreneurship, all of the energy that you know from either your direct participation in Mexico or from your family and other members. And no one personifies that more than what Commissioner Castro has done. He has been a constant companion during some of the most difficult times, and God blessed him to be the commissioner during these times because his personal story allowed him to be personally committed to ensure that not only those who come from Mexico, but come from anywhere on the planet can go through an immigrant affairs agency and they get the support that they deserve. So great job, well done. Thank you so much, brother. And during my days of borough president, I always hung out with my council generals from Mexico. The council generals and their families bring so much energy to this city. And when you look at what the Mexican community has done, in every area you can think about, from education to healthcare to construction to food services, everywhere you look, you see the presence of the Mexican community and continue to grow and expand. And let's turn that strength into political strength. Use your powers to ensure that you elect those who will represent you, not only verbally, but actually bringing you a step closer and closer and closer to the city that you want. And we cannot do it without public safety. Every event that I have of different cultural events, I always want to acknowledge the men and women of the law enforcement community who are here serving this city. They are your ambassadors. When people question any immigrant group arrival and participation in the city, you point to your law enforcement communities because they water the tree of freedom with their commitment and dedication, and the mere fact they are willing to serve, to put their lives on the line, that gives you the right to be a member of this great city. So I want to thank my law enforcement community who's here this evening. We had this celebration, I know it as the Day of the Dead. We had it at Borough Hall, and now we have it here at Gracie Mansion. It took 110 mayors before you were able to come here and celebrate something that's so important in your culture. My mother died in 2021 while I was on the campaign trail. And I say it over and over again. In the Bible that I read, it says absence from the body, presence in the spirit. And you celebrate those who have transitioned from the physical to the spiritual. You come back and you celebrate them each year because this is a natural cycle of life. Death is more part of life than living because we all will die, not all will live. And when you acknowledge that the mere absence of the physical presence does not mean the disappearance of the spiritual presence, you are giving honor to those who came before us. And we're not here on our own. We're here because of the great sacrifices from our loved ones, our children, our parents, our aunties, our uncles, all those who have transitioned. And when you do this celebration, it not only allows those of the Mexican community to celebrate, but the entire city to pause for a moment and reflect on the loss of their loved ones. So I thank you. You grace us with your presence here in Gracie Mansion. And everyone knows that New York City is the Mexico City of America. One of the largest populations that's here, particularly in the northern part of our country. And we want you to continue to have you invest in families, invest in business, invest in education and children, and most importantly, invest in public safety. And we want to congratulate our honorees and thank them for the work that they're doing. And I want to turn the program over to the staff.
Bienvenidos, buenas noches a la casa del alcalde. Mi nombre es Yvette Dávila Richards. Le voy ahora a presentar la próxima persona que le vamos a dar un reconocimiento. Este individuo se llama Víctor Medina Hernández, who's a visionary restaurateur and creative force who spent over 20 years shaping New York City's hospitality scene. Born in Puebla, Mexico, Victor rose from humble beginnings to lead some of the city's most beloved Latin restaurants, including La Pulperia in Palermo, Argentinian Bistro. Through mentorship and heart, he's built more than restaurants. He's built community, opportunity, and lasting impact. Please welcome Victor Medina Hernandez to the stage.
Well, it feels like I've been here, to be here in Gracie Mansion. So when I first came to New York City, that was 20 years ago. I didn't speak English. I didn't know the language. I didn't have no connections. But I kept working for many years. I opened so many restaurants in the city, and I started working with different backgrounds, different people. And I always believe that people, we don't have no colors, we don't have no crates, we don't have no, everybody we have one heart. And so one heart doesn't have no nationality. So I'm very proud to be from Puebla, Mexico. And I really mentor so many people in this city. I have so many employees, co-workers, that now they are very, very successful, not only in the restaurant business, they are very professional lawyers, doctors, and we still keep in touch. It's my honor to be working with a lot of different people. And I want to thank my family, Patty, my daughter, Carla, Kayla, my son, Diego, because I want them, they follow the example, and they keep the city great. And it means a lot for me tonight. So thank you so much, and thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Felicidades, Víctor. Now we have two more honorees, and it is really an honor to be honoring or celebrating these two institutions for their amazing work in our communities. The first is the CUNY Mexican Studies Institute. Un aplauso. Now, many of you know the CUNY Mexican Studies Institute has served so many in our community, but especially dreamers, especially young people in high school who may not think that they can go to college because of their immigration status and because they do not have the means to enroll in school. And it has been CUNY Mexican Studies Institute to allow that to happen for thousands of young dreamers or young Mexicanos who, like myself, continue to wait for justice in our community. Now, I was one of those dreamers that the CUNY Mexican Studies Institute, under its former name, received a scholarship to be able to enroll in school. And for that, I am eternally grateful. On behalf of the CUNY Mexican Institute, accepting the award will be President Fernando Pedro Delgado of Lehman College, the president of one of our senior CUNY colleges, and the only Mexicano that I know of to lead a college in the city or in the state of New York. Thank you so much.
I'll be brief. The award goes to an amazing group of people. Raise your hands. And our stalwart director who's home recuperating from an illness. Look, for those of us who are first generation, the stories of immigration are the stories that we heard at our kitchen table. For my dad, as I was telling the commissioner, when he was getting ready to pass away, I said, hey, aren't you proud you had 4 kids? You got 11 college degrees, you got a college president and a doctor. And he looked at me with his tired eyes and he said, you think I crossed the desert for nothing? But he reminded us always, as all immigrant families do, that we sacrifice to get ahead. And we move ahead and we reach back. And I want to thank my colleagues in the Mexican Studies Institute for living that with our communities every day. I want to thank the mayor for his longstanding support of CUNY. It's been a ride the last 4 years. And I want to thank everybody who forms part of our community here in New York. We all see a little of ourselves in each other. And sometimes when I walk down the street, either in Yonkers in the Bronx, and I see somebody coming towards me in El Tricolor on a Saturday, you know, when the game is about to start, you give them that nod. You give them that nod, and then you just kind of do that whistle, you know? And then you move on. So thank you all. Thank you, Mayor.
And the next group that we'd like to honor today is the National Domestic Worker Alliance. Un aplauso to the National Domestic Worker Alliance. I don't have to say much to you that Mexicanos, Mexicanas in the city of New York are really amongst the backbone of our immigrant communities, of our economy, and the National Domestic Worker Alliance has been an amazing advocate to those domestic workers that often work and toil with as little recognition in our society. And today, we want to make sure to change that and to uplift them and to recognize them for the important work that they do every single day to care for our loved ones, for our children, our adults, all throughout the city of New York. And we want to make sure that they do not go unrecognized. And to accept this honor is Karen Vargas y Josefa Pacio, amazing organizers and leaders in the community. And Karen Vargas, I had a chance to work with when I was the executive director of New Immigrant Community Empowerment, and now is an amazing leader with the National Domestic Worker Alliance. So thank you so much, Karen y Josefa, for accepting this award. Un aplauso.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to the mayor of the city of New York, Honorable Eric Adams. Thank you, Commissioner of Immigrant Affairs, Manuel Castro. Thank you to my director, Marisa Centeno, who is here with us too. Thank you. Es un honor recibir este reconocimiento a la labor de la Alianza Nacional de Trabajadoras del Hogar, capítulo de Nueva York. Una labor esencial que hace posible el trabajo de los demás. Muchas gracias. It's an honor for me and for Josefa receive this recognition on behalf of the National Domestic Workers Alliance and all the work of the domestic workers who make the other works possible. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Josefa, for being here and for representing the community of immigrants and domestic workers. Thank you so much for this honor.
So, good news, buenas noticias. The fourth honoree made it just in time. So we do have one final honoree. And he was stuck in traffic. As many of you know, it's been rough out there today. But I am so happy that he's here with us today because this next group has been an amazing partner with us, with the City of New York, and with my office to uplift not just the need for language access of our indigenous immigrant communities in New York City, but also the recognition that many of them have not been recognized in their home countries or in their states or even in their hometowns. And I will never forget when I first welcomed them to have a meeting with me to talk about the challenges that they had here in the city of New York and about the lack of language access in their indigenous languages. And they arrived to the second floor of City Hall, the COW, and they told me not even in their home country, in their hometown, the municipality has welcomed them like we have that day. And so it is with deep honor to introduce to you the Consejo de los Pueblos Originarios, who will be accepting this recognition by Director Saúl Quiset Rivara Espi Novaros. Gracias, Saúl.
Tanikuta kuntinto, tata, nana, shabindo yantendo ki vivichi yo shinti. Kusina kwini mayu, yanteo ki vivichi tasaka no yo ki vivichi. Yashanke kan yushindo, tishabindo, shabigo tata chiño, yatashi kuntia yu kan yutuyo yo. Muchas gracias, muy buenas noches y de corazón les agradezco enormemente que nos puedan permitir ser parte de este momento, pero sobre todo agradezco que la ciudad, la alcaldía, ha permitido que las lenguas originarias hoy en día tomen el valor que deben de tener. Entonces, sigo diciendo con mucho orgullo que vivan los pueblos originarios.
Well, again, thank you so much, everyone. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Y por último, salud y que viva México.